Hey everyone, and welcome to this brand new segment that I'm making for You Look Okay to Me. I'm calling it The First Flare, well, at least for now, anyway. It's kind of self-explanatory. I am going to be talking to people with chronic illnesses from all different types of walks of life to ask them what their first flare-up was like. Would you change anything? What have you learned from that point? And what would you tell your younger self going through that specific time and all that pain? What advice would you give them? I'm hoping this series can give me an opportunity to speak to more people with chronic illnesses about what their experiences are like. So hopefully you like it. I really hope you like it. This first episode is with one of my oldest friends. His name is Billy. He's a filmmaker, editor, director from South London, the best part of London. And he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, but that diagnosis has since been reversed and he's in the process of trying to re-figure out what is going on with his body. And interestingly enough, we went to performing arts school together and we kind of got sick around the same time-ish. So it was really interesting to know what his experience was and what his first flare-up was like. This is Billy.
So my name is Billy. I'm a filmmaker. I guess for almost 10 years now, I've had some kind of stomach condition, which I still don't quite know what it is.
So I don't know about you, I often find there are signs that something isn't quite right. Was there anything that suggested you weren't very well before that major flare-up?
Weirdly, around the age of 14, 15, in year 10, there was a strange thing that started to happen where, almost like clockwork, every day at a certain time, my stomach would literally start to swell up, and this intense pain would start. I had this PE lesson and this sociology lesson with that great teacher, Mr. Moyer, and I had to quit his lessons so many times and go home to the point where he literally was just you're taking the piss. This is not real. I didn't know what it was at all. And it was really intense. And I'd have times where I remember one time that's after school, I was in this intense pain, stomach swelling out, and a friend was kind of joking with me. And I shouted at him full pelt in front of all the kids in school, basically just tell him to shut up. And the look on his face, it was just pure pain, anger, oh my God, just leave me alone. And I had to take periods of time off school because of it. And I remember rumors would spread around school about me having incredible diarrhea. To this day, there's an association with me and diarrhea. But yeah. Even though better to give the details, there's anything but diarrhea. It was the other way around. Couldn't go to the toilet.
Okay, so you've had those symptoms for a while now, but then something happens that really sort of changed everything. There was a specific moment in time where you realised something's not quite right and this is not normal. Explain what that first flare-up was like.
I was at uni and there was this project where it was just to submit a short film and really loved how it was really happy with it and everything, and kind of decided classically to wait until the last minute and edit it overnight. So I literally got no sleep, knowing I had to get this in. Got the whole edit done and it was all really good. Got 0 hours sleep, and the next day I had to drive over to France because my dad was working in Paris at the time. He had a show on in a theatre, and we were all going to go and see it. And then we're driving, and we drive to the Eurotunnel. And I don't know anything about, at this point, the factors that can contribute to a flare-up. At the moment, at this point in my life, the flare-up is almost it's almost got a kind of mystical presence. It's oh yeah, it's the beast, the thing that just kicks up when it feels like it. Well, I thought maybe it was just angst. And at this point, my aunt and uncle in the car, and they bought loads of croissants to kind of for breakfast. So I'm eating loads of croissants. Oh yeah, I'm going to Paris. Yeah, in the car. I remember my mum basically driving the wrong way up certain streets and getting shouted at by loads of French people was great. But it also meant we took ages. So by this point, I'm no sleep, eating loads of croissants, and in a car, sat for ages. And to polish off, when we actually finally arrived to where we're staying, I have a massive again. I'm in Paris, so I'm never forget. I'm literally ticking boxes of all the things that are really going to ruin my day. And then it gets to the evening, time has passed, and we're going to the theatre. The show is getting ready to start. And I literally feel the pain that I have not felt since. Like, but in any context, like it's in my stomach and it's building and it reaches its peak really quickly. And it's so painful. And I guess I'm 19 or 20 at this point. But I feel like a child, like it literally crumples me to like, I feel like a kid. And then I'm like, I have to find a chair. I think I even had to ask someone if there was a chair. And I'm literally like, I can't walk. I can't stand up. It's like the worst pain I think I've ever had. But then for some reason, I think I was like, oh, I'm in Paris, I've come to my dad's show, I'm going to see it. So I did see it. And this is a funny story actually, and I don't know if you'd want to include this in the final thing, but basically the director of the show was and I didn't say this before, right? But the funny part of the story is I had to meet him afterwards with my flare-up. So I'm like shaking his hand like, nice to meet you. And he's like shaking my hand like, okay, nice to meet you as well. And I'm like pale as well, like I'm sweating. I'm like, this is how much pain I'm still in. Like, I really like your films. So like that was a funny story. But then I basically never had actually anything like that since. And I've almost kind of lived in fear of that again. As soon as I got back, I think that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to hospital. I'm going to the doctor. I'm going to go into hospital. I'm going to try and work out what this is. And bear in mind, I'd already had like 4 or 5 years of this thing that I've been basically ignoring. But that was a turning point for sure.
So after that first flare-up, I don't know, I think me personally, I went through loads of different stages. There was denial, then there was, oh, I need to change my life, and then there's loss because it's like, my life is not going to be the same as it was before. So there's all of that. How did you deal with that?
I felt like a really different person when I had a flare-up, so I didn't want to hurt, like be rude to anyone. It's interesting what it does with anger as well, because you've got a massive pressure on your body suddenly, and if someone slightly pushes your buttons, I'm someone who like never shouts or gets angry at anyone. And I remember on this film, this lovely guy, Josh, the writer, just like, he was like asking like, oh, after lunch, are we going to do this, this and this maybe in this shot? I was thinking this shot, and I remember just like, I'm like, Josh, I'm not doing any of that, I'm doing this. like I was bad, and that's just not me at all. I remember like for any event, or if I had a thing that I was going to that I couldn't wait for, I'd look myself in the mirror and be like, not tonight, please, not tonight. Like, I didn't even call it flare up then, but like just whatever it was, just please not tonight. So it affected it. I went to any event with almost an expectation that I was going to have a flare up. I got quite good at enduring it, like functioning with the pain, but it just became part of like my life at some point.
And what advice would you give to your younger self that was going through that flare up at that moment?
That's a really good question. Oh my god, that's a good shout. What would I say? I would like kneel by him while he's sitting in that chair, like hunched over, and be like, rub his back and be like, okay, so what you're experiencing is the result of no sleep, too much bread, and sitting in a car on your ass for like 9 hours. Like, so just know in the future, please don't do that again. But I'd just be like, it's all to do with lifestyle and food choices, and actually controlling them sounds daunting, but it's so worth it.
Thank you all so much for watching that video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions about changes for the video or anything I should add or take away, leave it in the comments below. And if you've got any questions for Billy as well, you can leave that in the comments below as well. And if you would like to follow him, I'll put it on the screen somewhere, but these are his social handles and go check out what he's doing. Also, big thanks to my other friend, Franco. He made the graphics for this video, so if you're interested in seeing what he's doing, you can also follow him as well. Once again, thanks so much for watching this content from You Look Okay to Me. If you liked the video, whatever platform you're watching this on, make sure you like the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, follow, share, do all those things please, because it really helps me out a lot. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I have to say. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.